everybody, this is Jordy Johnson at Carving Fusion. So this is basically a channel based for beginning wood carvers. As we all go through things in life and like our art projects and stuff like that, we always change, we're always doing different things. This thing's kind of thing, but right now I'm kind of onto the gnome thing, right? So this is what I just carved. This is out of hew and pine. Sent to me from my friend James from Tasmania in Australia, and it only grows in Tasmania. I just did a live carving of this if you guys want to see how I carved it. But this is a piece of, thanks for that wood, James. This is a piece of that piece of driftwood here. So I'm going to carve a gnome on this today. Why not? I'm having fun. You know, as long as you guys are having fun, just keep at it. So, yeah, I'm on the gnome thing right now. So, anyways, let's get this set up. I don't know what kind of wood it is. I don't know what color it is. It's underside there. I know it's a knot. So, like, this would be a branch coming off a tree like this, right? So, this standing up part would be the part of the tree. Lots of people like Glenn. Hi, Glenn. We out there in Montreal would carve, like, wood spirits and use this stuff for the hair. But I'm going to carve a gnome in this sucker. Yep, let's do it. Okay, so I think the most important part of... when you're carving driftwood, I don't know what type of wood this is. I don't know where the cracks are because they could be hidden underneath this outer layer. So let's just kind of give a rough sketch. And I suggest you guys do this too if you're carving driftwood. So let's make his hat kind of like, well, I don't know, right here. And we'll give this guy a round nose kind of thing, right? Then his mustache will come off here or whatever. So, this part of the wood I'm going to clean up, okay? I don't know if I might end up cleaning up the whole piece of wood, but right now I just want to clean up the part where I know I'm definitely going to carve, okay? And I'll just do it with I do have the Fordham, but I'll just do it with my little Dremel. I always run the Dremel 4000 lately with the Dremel flex shaft. This is a Kutzall bit, guys. See how aggressive it is? This is my go-to burr. It's a Kutzall flame burr. You can get these in the description below. If you hit that little arrow on the right-hand side, a whole menu will open up. We'll take you to the Kutzall site. Use the code CFusion. You save yourself 5%. Okay, I'm going to clean up this wood now. Okay, you guys can see here I cleaned up all the wood because I actually like the color. I'm having a feeling this is maple because maple wood, when I carve it, always seems fuzzy. This is bone dry. It's pretty hard wood. I don't like carving maple, but whatever. So, since we got this whole piece cleaned up now, we have to redraw our gnome back on. So let's just give him his cap up here. You guys, gnomes super easy when you're starting to carve, learning how to carve, because you don't have to carve eyes. You don't have to carve eyes on wood spirits, but you know. And you just get, okay, so we got this guy here. We got his hat on here. We'll give this guy a big nose. It's going to be a little bit tricky because the wood's sloped down here. And you guys always, like I say, I suggest cleaning up your wood, your driftwood first, because the gray outer layer, you really don't see, you don't see what's underneath it. It's good to clean it up so you can find surprises. Like I didn't see this crack here before. Just a silly round nose. Okay. And maybe we can even see how this guy's beard comes from right up under here. Maybe we'll do this guy the same way too. See, he doesn't even have a mustache or anything. Just real simple, guys. Very simple. Okay. So, let's just start carving the outside of this. Actually, let's go like this. So there we go. There's our beard too, okay? So I'm going to cut on all the outside of the lines right now, okay? And we'll get this piece to stick out the farthest, like the face. It's a beautiful sunny day out there. Everybody's putting up their Christmas lights. Good thing I put mine up a month ago. It's too cold out there for me right now. Okay, guys, I just want to say when you're carving this driftwood, the deeper that you carve into the wood, that's when you can find some beauty in the wood, right? I tried to carve real deep in here to get to the beautiful wood, but it's just kind of, this is such an old piece of driftwood. There's really not much hope. So anyways, you can see here how the whole face is above the outside of the wood. So it's raised up now, right? Real simple carving, guys, real simple. So here's his nose. His hat will come across here. So now I'm going to cut in here. And we'll kind of just bring his hat down a bit here. So it looks like it's kind of, so it's up around his nose kind of thing, right? So pretend this is his hat where my pen's going. Up around his nose and then down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut on these lines now. Cut around the nose. And make this nose. It's not a deep carving, guys. Okay? Do you understand? I hope so. Okay, guys, so you can see here it's all raised above. You can see how fuzzy this maple is. But don't get me wrong, wood turners, maple can be a real beautiful wood to carve. Wood, I know Pete loves turning it because, well, he can turn it nice and easy, hardwood on his lathe, and it comes out really beautiful sometimes, and you got some nice burls in the maple. So now I want to show you guys, okay? This is the extreme flame burr that I normally use for the Kutzall. This is the taper burr. These are my two favorite burrs from the Kutzall site, okay? This is the taper one, extreme. So now you can, at this point, you can see everything's rised off. Real simple. Anybody can do this, guys. Anybody. So this is the point where you decide if you want to give this whole thing an undercut. Undercut is using this thinner burr going underneath the whole outside of the carving, okay? Giving it a nice cut in there. And that undercut will make it look like this gnome is not attached to the wood. It will make it look like somebody just glued it on. It's not all one piece, okay? And you'll get shadow effects. So I believe I'm going to undercut all around here, okay? The whole thing on the outside, I'm going to undercut it. Then I'm going to get going here to make it look like his toque or his gnome hat is not attached to the face, right? Because if you look in here right now, it could look attached. But once you give it that little undercut, it will look not attached and it will give it a shadow effect right here. Wood carving's all about levels, shadows, and planes, right? So this nose is basically sticking off. This nose is basically as high as this hat. But you taper it down here and it doesn't look like it's as high as the hat, right? Like you taper it down here. So this would be the first one. This would be number 2. This would be number 3. This would be number 4. Different levels, right? So 1, this is basically the same level as the hat, but we'll just call it 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Highest, second highest, third highest, and lowest. Okay? I don't know. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, guys, so you can see here I got my undercut in, but now you got that bump from your cut line. So I suggest when you're doing your undercut, don't hold it up and down. Hold it as much of an angle as you can to get in there nice and flat, right? You see how, don't carve it on like this angle to undercut it. Put your burr in there, pretend it's in your handpiece, and get nice and flat in there, okay? Because the flatter that you put this burr, okay, so the flatter that you put it doing that undercut, the less bump that you'll get. See that bump? Now I got to remove that bump so it doesn't look like a bump. So I got this Kutzall taper. This is a different style taper burr, less aggressive. Now I'm going to go along and carve out that bump so it looks nice and smooth, right? Okay guys, sorry I'm still filming live here, but you can see now mostly that there's a couple bumps left, but mostly that bump's gone, right? Under the eyes too. Now look at that shadow that you get there. See how it's separated from the nose and the face now? Because you did that undercut, okay? So now, to get rid of the little bumps from the undercut even more, I just use my flap sander. This is a peterblair mandrel. You can see it, how to get these down in my description. So I'm going to go along and watch this. Get right under there, right? Okay, you can see. Now you really don't see any kind of bump. Yeah, this is 100% maple. So I'm going to sand this hat off. I'm going to sand this. We'll pull out the wood burner. And then, yeah, okay, I'll be back. Okay, so this is when I kind of sit back and look at my piece. Well, actually, I normally do that before I sand it, right? I get everything blocked out and cut in. I kind of sit back, drink my coffee, water, pop, whatever beer you're drinking, and look at your piece and see if you like it. Because if you don't like it at this point, you can change it. But I've already sanded this, so I do that step before I sand it usually. Okay, so another thing too, guys, you know, like I didn't sand his beard because I'm going to be burning it. But I sanded here. There's still some cut marks and stuff. I'm not making it that perfect. But you can see the quilting in his hat. I didn't sand his hat too well because it's going to be, I'm going to paint it and sand it again. So another thing too, for the very beginning wood carvers, okay? So this is, what I had on here originally was, I think it was like a 180 grit, okay? So I started doing it with 180 grit, and I said, Jordy, don't be lazy, switch it over to the 80 grit, okay? So I went over, switched it over to the 80 grit first, did it with the 80 grit, then went back with the 180 grit, okay? Usually they go 80, 150 or something like that. Because you're just wasting your time starting it at the 180 grit. You know what I mean? If you take off the cuts with this, sand it off quick, all the deep cuts and stuff like that, then come and hit it with this, it will be better than just hitting it with the 180 grit, if that makes sense to you, because you'll just waste your sandpaper and spend more time. Believe me, it's a lot faster to start off with 80 grit, then switch to 180 grit, then just do the whole thing with 180 grit. It's a lot faster that way. So now what I'm going to do is burn the beard hairs in. Yep, that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, you guys can see here, this is the Razor Tip SK. This is going to be the machine that I'm giving away for the Snowball on the Wall challenge. This is Zach machine with this pen, and this is the heavy duty pen with the heavy duty cable. So now I'm going to move it aside and just slowly take my time. And well, first of all, I'm going to burn around the nose. And when you're doing this wood burning, it's kind of mindless. So this is where I'll decide how I'm going to take care. See how that highlighted the nose? That's when I'll decide what I'm going to do with the hat, if I want to paint it and just scuff off most of the paint, leave a little bit of paint on there. So anyways, I got to finish. Actually, I'll do a burn under here too. It just kind of separates everything. Okay, now I'm just going to start burning the hairs. Real simple, everybody. Anybody can do this as long as you have the right tools. And I don't like to, I'm going to show you an example. Okay, so when you're burning, I don't like to go straight across like this, then go straight across underneath it, because then it will look like it's layered. It's like a row, a row, a row. I just like to do it sporadic. You know, so I'll bring some out here. I got to go slower. This is harder wood, but see how it's more sporadic? It's not like uniform. Okay, so I'm going to get all this done, and then I'll be back.
4,563,000,000 years. the wood burning was done.
Okay guys, so there you can see that probably took me about half an hour to do all that wood burning. I painted the hat red when I was tired of wood burning just to have a little break. But guys, don't worry, it's not going to be red like that for too long. I'm going to sand that. It's just acrylic, oh, paint tray for sale, paintbrush for sale. It's just dollar store acrylic paint. I'm going to, it's dry, I'm going to sand it so you only see a little bit of red in the hat. I did that just because I want to oil this whole piece. And I just wanted to separate this color from this color, right? It's going to be oil. So I'm going to sand most of this red off. Yep. There you go. Most of the red is off. You happy? You guys, it's only the way I do things. You guys can do things, you know, the way you want to do it. You know, basically these videos aren't show you what to do. They're basically just to show you, maybe give you ideas throughout the video, right? Okay. So it's kind of like antique now. So what I got here is this heavy mineral oil. You get this stuff in the drugstore. This was like 10 bucks, but it goes a long way. So let's get the oil on it. Let's get this sucker finished. Look at that quilting in there. Okay, so guys, also when you use the oil, it's really when you're going to see your flaws. So I'll show you what I mean when I'm done it. But look at all the quilting in there. Yep. Okay, I'll be back. Guys, so here it is. It's just something subtle, right? Like you guys could paint the hat blue, green, purple, pink, red, orange, any color you want. You know, but I just wanted this to be more subtle for like, I think this would look really great on somebody's wall, actually. I like this piece. But if you look at there, like look at the nose, the quilting. So the more that you sand it, the more you're going to get that quilting effect. And guys, you get the quilting effect lots on root pieces. Like bent wood, that's where you'll get that. See those bumps there? They look like they're like bumpy, but it's not bumpy at all. It's perfectly flat. Looks like it goes like this, but it's not. It's perfectly flat. So there you go, guys. Just to open your mind. Don't forget to sign your pieces. Okay, another thing I wanted to say I thought about when I was doing this. I oiled a bit of the back. You see that's the natural gray color there? But you put oil on this gray color, it goes really black and dark, kind of ugly looking, right? So try and, if you want to oil your piece or whatever, try and clean up the whole piece. You see I didn't clean up too much there. See how much darker it is there? See still a few cut marks in there. That's okay. But I wouldn't sell this piece for any less than 80 bucks. Here's the other one I did. This is on very rare hewn pine wood from Australia. I think I already showed it. But anyways, I thought I'd show it again. I did this for the live video this morning. Super fun to carve, guys. I'm going to be carving more of them. They're fun. I don't carve when I'm not having fun. Like if I got to carve something I'm not having fun, well, I just won't carve it. Hope you're all good. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you. We'll I guess talk to you soon. Bye.